Pounders, welcome back. Another episode of some happy August drafting. Today we're going to be ripping BBM5 number 99, and we have Neil with us to help combine our brains to put together yet again another strong team. Neil, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm excited to be here for number 9. Are you saving number 100 for like a special? Are you going to do a big episode for number 100? I'm debating. I'm at 98 right now, so
you're 99. This is a big episode right
oh
here.
yeah,
This
for
is
sure.
This is a big episode. We do have Pete coming on tomorrow though.
So you're going to save 100. Nice.
For number 100 tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Look out for that. But I want to make sure that the month of August is fun for the viewers. We're also trying to make that late push for 2K subs for that 24-hour live stream before the season starts. So that's always on the table. If you enjoy the content, fully recommend dropping a like, dropping the sub, and then going down to the description and following Neil here on both the Twitter and the YouTube machine. Neil, my God, Josh Downs goes down with a leg injury, almost gives me a heart attack. It ends up being a high ankle sprain. Are we going to get a discount on Downs, and are you buying the discount?
I think we're going to get a discount for sure on Downs. I'll need a discount. I'm not buying him at current prices right now. If he falls past like pick, I don't know, falls to pick 160, I'm in on that. I think that's like kind of my target for Josh Downs right now. I don't think I'm taking him at 150 right now. I do have concerns that it's going to linger. So yeah, I think I'm probably targeting like around pick 160 is where I'm going to be super in on Josh Downs.
How do you like? Does this change the Pittman price for you? Does this change the AD price for you? Do they become targets now?
That's a good question. Yes, it changes the price somewhat. I think it makes Pittman just a somewhat better buy. At like I haven't been drafting a ton of Pittman, so I'm still not like I need to get Pittman at the end of the third round. But I do think this probably makes it a little bit more fair. Like he was already, I think he was already going to be the alpha there. He was going to get the most targets. So I don't know how much losing the wide receiver 2. Like it's not like losing the wide receiver 1 is really helpful to the wide receiver 2. The inverse, I don't think is quite as true, but it probably does give him a little bit more of a target share there. So yeah, I think Pittman maybe is a fine buy now as opposed to like a slight fade for me at the end of the third round. And AD Mitchell, I was kind of out on him. I was already kind of debating like if I was premature in being out on AD Mitchell, like probably overreacting to hype news there because again, he was high draft capital, should be, was a good prospect. So I think I'm back in on AD Mitchell at cost.
Yeah, makes sense.
But again,
I think that's smart. Also, listed as co-starter with Alec Pierce. It's only a matter of time until it takes that over. And now, maybe if you get Downs to miss a week or two, if that that ankle sprain is still lingering, and we know they could take a while. Some of them, the severity really ranges. They said about a month, but I wouldn't be surprised if he misses, 6 weeks, and then it lingering. So we'll sort of see with Josh Downs, but God damn, I think I'm sitting at like 18, 19%. Definitely one of my my comfy clicks back there. Now I think Polk becomes an even bigger target. How about with some of the Ayuk news? New England now out on him. Are you giving New England players a little bump? Are they a little safer clicks for you? How are you treating those?
I mean, I feel like the New England speculation was so short-lived that they didn't really change all that much. But it does make me feel like I was already buying more and more into Polk. And I think this just, kind of, if I was going to take my foot off the gas with Polk, I'm not going to now because it does sound like they are probably out.
Exactly.
Maybe it scared me a little bit off of Javon Baker as like went from one of my favorite 17, 18 round picks to like, I was a little bit scared of it for a bit, but now I think I'm back in. So yeah, it doesn't change anything too drastically because I don't really think there ever was much of a discount on the New England guys. But yeah, I think very much good late round targets.
If anything, probably hurt like Javon Baker, probably like completely going
KJ Osborne. You could just ignore KJ Osborne. Yep.
Maybe would have hurt a little bit of Hunter Henry as well. But again, those guys go so late, like you said. It's definitely good for the bags. Like if you have New England bags, Ayuk didn't go there, you're in good shape.
Yep.
If he goes to
except for Drake May, obviously.
Yeah, right. Well, God, I don't know if he's going to help himself this year from the news in training camp. It's not looking
True.
great for him.
Yeah.
Um, how about if they do the Cleveland swap and Amari goes to San Fran? You giving Amari a bump to the top of the third? How are you treating Amari in that case?
That's a really good question. Yeah. Top of the third. Yeah, it feels fair. I think that's about
Yeah,
right. Like it'll be like he's such a good receiver. I think it is a somewhat better situation. I was debating because it's like he obviously has much more target competition for San Francisco, so it's a little
definitely.
bit hard to do that equation. But yeah, I do think that it would be a slight bump just from confidence in the offense, confidence that his
Yeah.
quarterback is going to be playing all year. I think it would
Hmm.
be a slight bump for Amari. Yeah, I think it's positive despite the now I'm trying to think what I would do with Ayuk because I do think Ayuk is
Right.
at this point
Right.
probably the better receiver of the two. So I think he drops a bit, but probably I think they're probably going to be like back to back would be my guess if
Yeah.
that trade happens.
I don't think, yeah, like to that point, I don't think he goes like 12, 16 picks later. I think it's, if anything, if he drops, it's gonna be within a round.
Yeah,
So I don't think a lot changes there, like you said. Now, how about Debo, Kittle? Are you giving these guys bumps?
yeah.
Especially like if he ends up in Pittsburgh and they're not getting some return on with the player, how far are you willing to go on Kittle? You willing
Yeah,
to bring him
Kittle.
into Andrews?
I feel like yeah, right there. 4-5 turn for Kittle. I think feels about right in that scenario. If they don't get any kind of great receiver in return, which I don't. I think with Pittsburgh, the rumors have not suggested any kind of like.
Right.
And I don't know other
Who are
than
you gonna give?
Pickens, who are they going to get? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think Kittle probably 4-5 turn in that scenario would be fair price. Debo 1-2 turn I think is
Yeah.
about right.
Dude, Debo gets a sneaky bump with the CMC calf injury too. Like we all know, like
Good
Debo's
point.
getting in the mix with the run. Like he gets an extra bump, in my opinion, with that CMC news, which kind of understated a lot of times how much added value that can be. And then in single game slates too, like you're a DFS guy, you love when you have Debo without CMC and he steals a rushing
Oh
touchdown.
yeah, beautiful. Yeah,
So
and then Ricky
single game
Pearsall.
slate,
What are you doing with
beautiful.
Ricky
Oh,
Pearsall if this
right
Pittsburgh trade
right
happens?
now, I feel like you have to put him around like just after Polk. I feel like you have to rank him there and you have to get as much as
Oh,
possible
I'm
until
more bullish than you are. I think
yeah, I
that feels
think
about that's probably fair. I'm probably
if
too
he
bullish,
if
but
yeah, if Ayuk goes to Pittsburgh, Ricky's going to the moon. Like you'll see him within pick 100.
yeah.
But there's still that risk that, he doesn't go to Pittsburgh, right? And then
Oh yeah,
some
yeah.
other kind of swap happens. If you get Amari Cooper back on the team, like Ricky doesn't deserve this huge bump.
Okay, so you
So I
mean
do
right
think with
now you're
risk,
moving him?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I meant like if the trade is official, if Ayuk gets
Oh
traded to
God.
Pittsburgh, what are we doing then?
Oh God.
And that's where it becomes around pick
Uh,
100 probably. I think I
yeah.
said on a
After
podcast,
Sutton,
yeah, that I
after
put him before
Sutton,
Sutton. I said right before Sutton is where I put him, but I think
yeah,
after because I do think that there are after I think it's probably fair because I do think we still have concerns. Like he's not the locked in wide receiver two in that scenario. He's still a rookie, still needs to prove himself. But yeah, I think probably after I think I've altered a little bit to I think right after Sutton is probably correct.
yeah. What are you doing with the Brendan Rice news? Running with the ones and then Cowing making some plays in training camp. Is that doing anything for you?
Um, I think both have maybe makes them a little bit more a little bit better as 18th round clicks. I think on
Hmm.
DraftKings, love like I think they become great
Oh
19th,
yeah,
20th round picks on Underdog. I think both have been borderline draftable. I think I'd feel a little bit maybe more comfortable with the click. I'm still not taking either of them, I think, before round 18 without any more news. But as 18th round
hmm,
picks, correlated bets, if you're doing a Detroit, San Francisco stack or a Chargers New England stack. I think both are, fine 18th round picks. Still not huge
yeah,
priorities for me.
yeah. That's fair. Some some news from ETN himself said, "I'm expecting an unbelievable year. They've been getting me more involved in the passing game, and that's going to take my game to another level." With a little video of him catching the ball out of the backfield, just running plays, no defense. But if that happens, where he goes is a bone chilling price. If you're fading him because you're basically getting Kyron in the fourth round. What's your stance on ETN? And with that news, will you be taking more of him, or are you just fading the noise?
Yeah, I think that it is largely noise, but I also think he was a fine, like a pretty good pick anyway. So he's been kind of a buy for me right now because I'm way underweight on ETN, and I'm like I am already scared of it. So yeah, I think players saying that they're expecting to have a big year, I don't really put much stock in that. But at the same time, I
Yeah.
think that he's right. Like he probably is. He was already the lead back in a very good offense. So I think that he is kind of a buy anyway, even though I
Yeah.
think that specifically is noise.
Yeah. I think you get the news from like Kadarius Toney that he's gonna have a big year every year.
Right.
Corey says drop a like on the stream now. Yeah, appreciate it. We're gonna be doing that 24-hour live stream with 2K subs.
Madman.
We
Madman.
did sneak into a draft. However,
Ooh.
for the viewers here, you could jump in +2 on this room. And let's see. So 7% Lamb. I have the BBM5 exposures up. And shout out to Josh. Somehow puts together another enormous update on the website. Being able to see your playoff stacks, not new, but it generates much faster. And now being able to see your most common stack on that playoff game
Very
is
cool.
just a very beautiful add in the stack frequency in there. Position by round, you can see, what are your drafting patterns, which is really nice. Some other sites have this as well. I think it's extremely useful. You can take out positions too, just by clicking these at the top. Little hidden feature. Same thing with targeted teams. I think this is a beautiful ad as well. So you can sort of see how you're drafting that way, and then being able to just pick up a random player. Let's say Amari Cooper for one. It'll show you your portfolio exposure versus your BBM exposure, which is just, it's just too nice.
Pretty, yeah, that is
nice.
Sweet. Well done,
And we get
Josh.
the 11. We get the 11. Al Books is in here, and Frank is in the 6. I think they're far away enough that we don't have to worry too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 badgeless in this room.
It's been so much more common than like 2 months ago, and it's like 11 of the 12 are going to have badges. Now we're getting the casuals in. It is good to see. It's still been very hit or miss. Like a lot of casuals still know what they're doing. Like you can see they're still drafting really nice teams, and then others are just complete wild cards. They're going to take your quarterback uncorrelated. So it's it's hard to get a read on the casuals.
Yeah. Sometimes you could remember their names if they're like doing like crazy stuff back-to-back drafts. You just sometimes will remember those names. They'll stick out to you. But in this room, I'm not seeing anyone I recognize besides the two pounders here in the middle of the room.
Yeah, me neither.
I've been pulling Debo, been having a little fun with it. I got my first Debo Garrett Wilson share yesterday around this price, 11 and 14. I don't think it's ridiculous. And it'll get you a little different from the field. A lot of those teams that pull them up go Gibbs Debo as well.
Yeah, I was going to suggest Debo for that 14th pick. I think that makes sense here. Get a unique build with Debo potentially rising.
Let's do it. I'd love it to be AJ Brown here. We'll see what happens. The AJ Brown exposure, I'm just not getting the pick number.
Oh yeah. Yep. That'd be a good one to add. Look, you only have 4% Puka, which is looking good right now.
Garrett Wilson over Puka since the big board. So
man, not me. I have not been that way, and I'm hurting with this news.
And that's just like you luck into some injury news. You're gonna take some L's with some injury news, like Downs at 18%. So you win some, you lose some. Give us AJ Brown. This guy loves Puka, right?
Ooh, killing me. All right. What do you like to do? I mean, you don't have much Puka. Are you wanting to buy Puka now, though? I don't know. You could do Gibbs Debo.
Gibbs Debo's fine. What do you think about Marv in this spot?
I like Marv. I'm a buyer. I'm a believer in Marv. I know some people don't want to trust the rookie. I'm just like, he has such a great profile. He's in such a great spot. This is one of those spots where I'm willing to pay up for the rookie.
What about Marvin Debo? Or, I mean, if they give us Marvin Puka, I feel like we have to take it.
The turn
takes
Debo. Yeah, we can do that.
I feel like we have to take it now.
I have not found that to be that hard to get. I've heard other people talk about how it's like you weren't able to get it before, and now you can finally get it. I'm like, I feel like I've been getting that plenty all along. The
Right.
Puka and Marv thing.
Let me see how many stacks I have of this. It's not zero. So we got two. So a third share does feel good here in this spot.
Yeah,
If you guys are
it's still,
curious what
still a
this
great turn. I
is,
still love it. To be clear, even if it has not been difficult, I still think it's a good double tap.
right? And early Puka injury news doesn't really matter to me when we can get this stack. Dome game, 48-point total, Rams versus Arizona. I need more Kyler anyways, so this helps me kind of focus the Kyler pick late.
Yep. And what will it pick like 84? So it would be or 83, I think. So it would be like
Right,
a
right in this spot, yeah.
slight fall for Kyler.
Yep, you need a 5-6 pick fall. Basically, a lot of times if he passes, it depends where the McBride team goes. It depends with these elite QBs who's going elite QB. But I make the mistake of going elite QB a lot at like pick 38, and then I kind of hamper myself from being able to select Kyler, usually needing RB or receiver in that spot.
Yeah, no, that is I found that as well where when I go elite quarterback, I often find myself regretting it later where it's like, oh man, I could take this other elite quarterback who's fallen to me and sometimes I
Stacked.
do anyway, which I think is probably wrong, but I sometimes it's just fun. Like I'll just get my stacks out of the way and then just take whoever I want the rest of the way.
And that's the thing. If you think you can outplay the room, why not just push it to the limit with some of those teams? And it's not out of the question, like going elite QB here and then going Kyler.
Yeah.
But it's definitely fringe for me. And some drafters are very comfortable. Now you have neighbors crushing camp. You have neighbors having a really good camp against the Lions joint practice back-to-back days.
Getting
His
in fights.
neighbors been, I know, a little head, might be a little head case.
I
But
didn't know that about neighbors. I mean, I don't watch college football, so I don't actually know that much about the players as people that
yeah,
much heading into
he's
the season.
he's got a temper. He's got a temper, but he likes to compete. Um, he's gonna want the ball too. So, well, I'm definitely a little more confident mixing in neighbors now, but I do have Amari Cooper bumped up right after neighbors officially 11 spots ahead of ADP. Now we're
Yeah.
making the move to the 2-3 turn already.
I feel like all the rumblings are kind of suggesting that Ayuk to Pittsburgh is the most likely scenario. Like I feel like it's like
Hmm.
70% that is going to happen. Ayuk going to
Yeah,
Pittsburgh, and then 20% he stays in San Francisco at this point. Like I think
yeah.
do you think that seems more likely than not that that's where he ends up at this point?
Yes. It's definitely weighted that way. My Cooper rise has nothing to do with that. I kind of just like Cooper in this range anyways, just getting a
Yeah, yeah,
little different with my
same.
with my exposure and just trying to find out who I want to be heavier on. Because I'm finding myself drafting a lot of digs as of late, which is fine. Like he's fallen from his beginner price, but I don't love if he goes to Pittsburgh, like where are you putting Ayuk right now?
Yeah,
Put him
if Ayuk goes to
behind
Pittsburgh,
T,
I want to say
behind Pickens? Like where in front of Pickens?
in
Does
front of
Pickens
Pickens.
fall?
Yeah, no, I think Ayuk is better than Pickens. I think he would be the top receiver there. But yeah, I think Pickens falls. I think basically Ayuk moves to where Pickens is now, and Pickens drops a couple rounds, most likely.
Yeah. How did Bijan guy pass up Drake? I like the Bijan
I was
Drake
gonna point
combo.
that out. Yeah, and you rarely get the Bijan Drake combo, so I can't imagine
Yeah.
passing that up.
I don't think I've when possible, I don't believe I ever passed it up. I have quite a few.
Oh, do you really?
Oh yeah. Two. Two in BBM, 5 total. Yeah, it's
That's more than I have. I have not gotten it that much at all.
ooh. Oh dear. Is this where I make the if he comes to us to make the adjustment on Pittman?
Good question.
The portfolio adjustment here. See
Yeah,
what
you're at
happens.
1%. I suppose that would not be the worst place to get him.
Must we believe in Daniel Jones too? If I'm drafting neighbors, I'm trying to draft Jones, but
Yeah, I click Jones sometimes. I'm not like I don't think you need to take Jones on a neighbor's team, but yeah, it gives him a little bump for sure.
he separates so far from the second favorite target there that
Yeah. Okay, Pittman goes. Man, both Laporta and Kelsey. I was going to suggest reaching for McBride, but with both Laporta and Kelsey still there, I think I'd go Tank or something different. I don't know. What do you think?
Do you want to go Cooper here? Cooper and then Trey McBride could be different on this
True.
3-4 turn. A lot
Yeah.
of teams will probably have Tank.
Yeah.
Trying to find small little changes that like Amari Cooper hasn't moved that far. And another great part about bestballoverlay.com is if you're not following up on player movement like the whole offseason.
Are you tracking our board? Just making sure.
Oh yeah,
Pretty risky. Pretty risky to leave when we have. Okay.
Oh, we're good.
I mean, Laporta also, but I guess that would be as far as combinatorial ownership. You're not really doing anything too different. So Laporta or McBride for me, if you just want to, makes it more likely we get Kyler if we go McBride.
I'm fine with this. Honestly, I think I'm good with bringing in Laporta here.
Yeah, that works too.
We still reached up. We still didn't take the best available receiver, which was which was Dell, excuse me. And then a lot of the times, like you'll get Diggs in this spot. You'll get Pittman. So selecting that third receiver in line, I'm fine with.
I just think because we took Cooper earlier for combinatorial ownership reasons, and then we took Laporta, and I feel like he just flipped those two, and we just kind of reversed the order. But that's fine too. I still think they're good picks.
Let's get it. These are 1% Laporta. I have been trying to make a mental note of like, okay,
you only have 1% Laporta. Okay, yeah. Then
well, fading Laporta early and then grabbing some of the other elite tight ends. And now that they've caught up to Laporta, I think he's not as bad of a click. So I'll probably end up with my 6%. But grabbing one piece of Detroit, one piece of San Fran, those kind of feel like you're gonna need some San Fran in your lineup. You're gonna need some Detroit in your lineup this year. So finding a way to mix those guys in definitely seems important.
Yeah, I will say, I guess one downside to taking Laporta there is we're right in the range to take Kittle, just slightly ahead of ADP, but I still think further back from where he should be. We could still do it. We could do Laporta, Kittle, get that little Detroit San Francisco correlation with the tight ends.
Ooh.
I mean, if that turns you on, let's just do it.
That's scary.
It is
scared,
scary.
Neil.
Yeah,
I'm scared, Neil. I'm scared.
Bully tight end.
You know, I've mentioned it before. If you're going to go double elite tight end, Kittle's the guy to do it with because he can have that 30-point game. He can spike ahead those receivers and those running backs. So I do think in a world where it's possible, you should be doing it with Kittle.
Yep. I like Kittle on a double elite build. I often do it with like the double like semi-elite build where it's like Kittle and Evan Ingram. I think I have a lot of kind of like that combo.
You want to know what I'm realizing? I think I had a BBM draft. No, this is number 99. We're good. I was like, did I have one thrown away? We're good. Nice. Pickens falls past Rashi. If Ayuk goes to Pittsburgh is what I
think that's probably accurate.
Yeah, you're definitely not putting him behind Godwin.
I think I would.
Really?
You wouldn't put Pickens behind Godwin? I'm also kind of a bull on Godwin this year, so
yeah,
maybe not the best gauge.
I'm putting him ahead of, like, I would have this look a lot different. I'd have him still ahead of Keenan Allen. I'd have him basically here, right behind Pitts. You're still getting, like, George Pickens, potential for 30-point week player. So the single game ceiling is still there, which you definitely are already paying for Pickens.
Yeah.
Like, that's already priced in that he could break the slate. So, yeah, you add Ayuk. Now, more sustained drives, more red zone trips. It's probably still not going to make up for, George Pickens is the clear favorite target here. And he's always been an interesting click. I've gone back and forth with him this offseason for sure.
I've been pretty comfortable with the Pickens fade. Like I don't full fade him, but like I don't know. I just think he's not going to, like, you look at the other receivers around him. I mean, Amari Cooper, I think, is just objectively a better pick. Like, I think there's just going to be so much more passing volume in Cleveland than Pittsburgh. And I think Cooper is like on that same level as far as talent goes, better quarterback play. So I just think he's a better pick. So I have not been that afraid of the Pickens fade, which, it's going to feel pretty good for me if Ayuk gets traded to Pittsburgh. That's the one spot that I'm like, please trade him to Pittsburgh. If he goes to Cleveland or New England, I was like, that's going to hurt my bags for those teams. But going to Pittsburgh would be ideal.
Yeah, the Cleveland option's definitely interesting. And for myself, I feel like it makes the most sense for San Fran being able to get a win now type player back versus picks from Pittsburgh. Of course, they're going to have to pay Purdy. They're going to have pretty old team like going into the next season, 2025 as well, with Kittle, CMC, Debo. So also adding Amari, you're probably not looking to extend him for 3+ years. Probably give him like a year or two. So it is interesting why they're even looking to part with Ayuk. They can't get there from a money standpoint, but
maybe just a locker room standpoint, like he doesn't want to be there, so maybe they think they'd be better off just with a happy locker room. I don't know. Clearly helps him as a football player.
Oh yeah. Coming back around to us, we have the elite tight ends getting scooped off the board. One by Frank, one by Al Boogs. I'm sort of out on Keenan Allen at this price right now. I'm trying to scoop a lot of O'Dunes. Kittle goes. I'm sort of fading Hollywood. Do you like? I'm very much so in on Calvin Ridley, especially getting a lot of good camp news with the D-Hop injury.
Yeah, that's right. I don't have a ton of Calvin Ridley, so I think that now is a good time to buy.
Yeah, basically getting him at price with the D-Hop injury. It's like, was the D-Hop injury priced in? You know what I mean? Like, he should have been probably cheaper, but now you get this D-Hop injury. He doesn't move. So that's sort of telling about how his price was beforehand. But this range of receivers is sort of juiced up anyways. Are you wanting to bring in someone like White, like Mixon?
Let's go.
Is your house being raided?
I'd be fine with either. Mixon probably my preference of those two, but you have less of White, so we could go with White just to add some exposure there.
We'll do the coin flip here. Dallas Week 16 dome games, kind of a juicy one that White has too. 46.5 point total. I like Mixon because you're leveraging elite pieces. You're leveraging all the Houston pieces, and they're expensive. So I'm ahead.
Yeah.
I was much further ahead, and you can sort of see me coming back around on White. We've sort of found where White's final price was. That was the problem early on. Like, how far is he going to fall? Especially in BBM, the open, where we're dragging all these receivers up, and it happens every year. So sort of figuring out where the bottom is, it's like, okay, now I'll add onto my White shares.
Yeah.
Do we get Kyler back? Where's the McBride team? McBride team doesn't have a QB. Tragic. So we're going to have to get by pick.
74. So yeah, he would have to. Kyler
goes at 65.
All right. Well, there's that too. There's 65. Always that.
Just rip the Band-Aid off quick. You know what I mean?
Unstacked with Anthony Richardson. He goes double elite quarterback, totally unstacked. And that's actually a badge. That's one of the few badges in the room.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enjoy.
Experienced, bro. I love it doesn't show it, but when you scroll over the badge, it says experienced. That's funny. The best. Nice. And then when you scroll over the red badge, it says highly experienced. Ooh. It's fun.
It's only like 500 drafts, right? To get the red badge, maybe 1,000. I don't know.
1,000 for the red, 500 for the black. Yep. Or you can win contests and get there earlier.
Okay. Yep.
C40 with the PR, smash the like and bang the bell. These guys are going for 2K subs. Yeah, both of us. We're like neck and neck in the race to 2K subs. So if you guys want to see that 24-hour live stream, down there, the subscribe button, slam-a-roo.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think you're probably going to beat me to it. I'm going to be leaving on. I mean, you might get there even before I leave on vacation, but I'm leaving for vacation next Thursday, and I'm going to be not streaming for like 12 straight days. So yeah, it's really brutal timing for me as far as like trying to grow a YouTube channel. But
do you have some marathon streams?
I'm going to be doing.
You're still doing all BBMs on stream. Is that still the
That's still the goal, and that's where I get nervous. Is like, is BBM going to fill while I'm gone? So for a little while, I was going to try and get them all done before leaving. I think I'm just going to risk it though, because they are dropping new contests now, which is helpful.
Yep,
So I think I'm
slow
gonna.
it.
The goal is to get like 120, 130 in, so that if I need to, when I get back, if it's like 99%
Yep.
full, I'm just gonna like, all right, doing a marathon, gonna go until I get to 150. I want to get like within range before I leave next week.
I'm also taking a little mental health vacation before the season starts, the 20th to the 30th.
Okay.
So haven't decided. No, it's only a week, the 23rd to the 30th. So haven't decided if we're bringing the laptop and the equipment yet. It's a drivable drive to vacation, so it wouldn't be completely unreasonable. But it will depend. It will depend what's the setup. So
Nice.
we'll sort of see there, and we'll see how close we are. But there is a chance. There's a very strong chance we hit it before then, and then we plan for like a 31st, the day I get back, start the 24.
Oh,
Our
nice.
live stream. August 31st would be a great goal for us.
What are you are you planning on doing content during the season as well?
Yeah, last year did a lot of battle royale, so contest
Oh,
open,
nice. Cool.
especially Sunday morning. Those are my two favorite times to draft the battle royales. You get the early ADPs, you get the late ADPs with the late movement, the late news, and
Yeah.
then using bestballoverlay.com, being able to track the player's movement over the course of the week is very important, especially in battle royales. So yeah, it really just kind of pushing the levers there with the battle royale contests. But I
Nice.
have just no interest in being like week one running back rankings. Number one, Christian McCaffrey. This is a player that's gonna get 20 plus. It's like, oh God, I can't be a robot. I can't even pretend. So
No.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
Nice.
How about yourself? Are you gonna mix DFS, battle royales? What do you plan on doing for content, Neil?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing content, contractor work for a bunch of different DFS sites during the fall, but then
Good. That's
the
awesome.
goal as of right now, the plan is to do showdown stuff on my channel. Just save the showdown stuff Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night football for
Fun.
the flannel versus is the current
Fun.
plan.
That's awesome. How do I get on one of those sponsored sites?
One of the
What do you
DFS
like
sites.
here? We have Dacaroni in the horizon. We could
Yeah,
do a
we could go
little for Dak,
Furry and Dak.
or we can play it balanced and go Stevenson. We could focus some of these late QBs.
Sure, we do have some later quarterback options. Yeah, that's true. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go for Stevenson. I mean,
Let's risk it with Stevenson. Now, we could bring in Palmer. We could bump up Palmer, especially with the lat injury. I think is interesting. You get that week 17 now, and then we add another QB in case we just keep whiffing, or we could bring up Jaden Daniels naked and go with your favorite back stack with Jaden.
that is a very fun back stack.
Or
Man,
if
that's
anyone
tough.
else interests you, just give me a shout. I'll add him.
Feels a little early for Palmer. Nah, with the other options available, we don't have much. Yeah, let's just go Palmer because we have so many late
Okay.
quarterback options that I feel like that's we'll have the choice between Goff and Justin Herbert. I think like in that
Exactly.
kind of range.
If we get, yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 viable QBs for
Yep.
this build, which is nice. If we could find a Miami piece for this Cooper, maybe it's right. What are you doing with Wright back here in the was he 160, 154?
Yeah, I like him when I need a running back in that range. He is a great pick. I do love the like we're all kind of assuming that he has double contingency value. I guess we don't know that for sure, but it seems pretty likely that that is kind of the way
Yeah.
he's going to be treated as the like if anything happens to either of Mostert or HN, he's going to be mixed in quite a bit. I think it's probably a good bet. So yeah, I like him quite a bit. Where he's going around pick like 160. Like he's very
Right.
fair there. I also really like Ray Davis around that range. Like there's just a lot of that's part of the reason I'm so high on zero
Right.
RB this year is like I feel like there are a lot of like lottery ticket kind of picks that and some of them are they're not all gonna work out, but you just need a couple of them to work out. It's kind of a fun range.
The Ray Davis shout is great, but it just triggered the memory of reading that he fumbled a He
It's not
fumbled
great.
again.
Yeah.
Again, I should state it's been a problem for him in preseason.
Marshawn Lloyd, same thing. Apparently, having the
Oh,
fumbles.
but that's not that shouldn't be a surprise based on
Right. That's what I've
his
heard.
college profile.
Yeah. Which does, yeah. I'm drafting these guys and now learning that they're all just fumbling a ton and they have those
Oh,
issues. Don't love that. Don't love that.
it wasn't the strongest class for RBs.
Yeah.
So, but
Important
you're
to
getting the
remember.
fall on Benson now. You're getting the fall on Corum, which is nice. You're just getting the other RBs just pushing up ahead of them.
Yeah.
So buying some of those prices as of late. What am I at in BBM? 6% and 5% feels pretty good. Catching up pretty quick though.
But later than everybody else is drafting them.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly. That's what I focused is on small advantages of ADP. Throw a tournament that is open for so long.
yeah.
Yeah, getting them at our price always feels nice. Dobbs has been someone I've pushed up a little bit. I actually quickly got up to 10%, and he hasn't moved a whole lot, but he's gotten a ton of just positive camp news. What have you been doing with like Green Bay and in those ADPs and those receivers?
Yeah, I think that they're all pretty good bets. And Dobbs is the
Okay.
one that I have been the most out on throughout the offseason. But over the past couple weeks, I'm with you. I think like he has looked better and better as a pick just where he's going. So got to kind of eat that L on my early Dobbs fade. But the nice thing is, like you
Yeah.
said, he has not moved all that much. So it's not like I missed out that much. I can just draft Dobbs now. And I'm doing so.
Right.
Wicks, yeah, I still think Wicks is fine. He's up to pick like 115 now, which I don't totally love, but he's also been, for the most part, I feel like most of the chatter has been good. I know the like friends and family game people were upset that he didn't play that much with Jordan Love, but I feel like for the most part, all of the the chatter coming out of camp has been like he's getting open, like he just gets open
Yeah.
no matter who's on him. Jordan Love says
Yeah.
he's going to have a monster year, so I am just buying into the high upside there for Wicks.
Yeah.
But Reed, I think, is actually the price has gotten a little bit better for Reed. Like I think he,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I bet we have that data somewhere, but I feel like went from like mid 50s to like 60ish. So
I got you.
maybe a slight. Yeah. Let's see.
You could also
See if I'm
compare
talking out of my
players in
ass here.
He's basically the same price.
Okay. Yep.
Basically the
And
same
he's actually
price.
come up. So I was completely wrong. I mean, yeah.
But other
Basically not.
players
But
have risen in that range too. And sometimes that makes you feel like when he's in a different player range, like, oh, I kind of like him now
right.
where he goes in the current environment versus the previous.
He's mostly a mix-in kind of pick for me, just because
Yeah.
he does go the highest of that group. But I like Watson. I think Watson has pretty huge potential for where he's going. Yeah, no, I like the Green Bay receivers in general.
What do you think of one of these two?
The co-starters. Yeah, I think both. Tajay goes. So I think taking Pollard makes a lot of sense.
Let's go Pollard here. Now, what do we do with this next click? We have T-Law. We don't have any Jags. Brandon Cooks sort of sticks out to me as a... Do we have a bring back for Dallas? Or am I making that up?
We do not. We thought about taking Ferguson.
That's what it was.
Or you mean Philly? Yeah, we don't have any.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing the Dak Ferguson thing. That's what
Yep.
it... So maybe we just go... Yeah, if Sutton was there at 110, I'm much more comfortable with that price.
Yeah, I think that's a fair price for Sutton. I'm still in on Shaheed, Lockett. I think it's a pretty solid range. Either one would give us another late round quarterback option. Or I like Brian Robinson too. Or did Javonte Williams go?
Yeah, Javonte Williams went, I think, a little early. 104, typical.
So I'd be fine with either Shaheed, Brian Robinson would probably be my targets here. Top of your board.
Shaheed seems fine in this spot. Wide receiver 6. I don't... God. I might just lean RB. Can we stop at 4? If not stopping at 4, we can definitely stop with 5, a super late pick.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't stop at 4. We do have the double bye week concern for week 14. So week 14, we just have 2 running backs available. So I might want to add on one more running back who could cover that week 14 in case of an injury,
Yeah.
or just give us an extra out there.
In case we're in third place leading into the championship.
Yeah,
No,
right.
we'll be in
Exactly.
first. We'll be in first. It's
Yeah,
fine.
we'll be
Ooh,
crushing.
god damn, our QB's just going off super, super early. He pairs it
That's
with Gibbs and JMO. Maybe expected.
yeah. He probably could have pushed it honestly to the next round. So I'm glad he took him there instead of pushing it to the pick before ours.
Yeah, I don't know. I think even Frank doesn't have a QB, so he could have
Okay,
saw
good
this.
point.
And this is smart to look ahead. The Amon-Ra team not having a QB, definitely leaning into
Yeah.
getting Goff there. And again, a team like this, you just keep pushing QB back because you have so many options. You have Herbert, you have Stafford with that bring back of Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
You have Deshaun Watson, you have Levis. So we lose out on our second QB, and we're hoping who comes back to us at 131. It seems a little early for Staffy, but we might just have to
I'd go Herbert before Stafford
Herbert.
probably.
Would you double tap on the way back around?
Well, what do we have again? I think we have a few late round options, so I don't think we need to double tap. Kind of depends on who's available there.
Yeah.
Can you show
I
me
just
our receivers again?
I just love leaning into that Stafford, especially the Puka Harrison stack.
Yeah, just the
Harrison,
full game
Puka,
stack.
Amari Cooper, Ridley, and Palmer. We definitely have a lot of targets in this room. Sam Laporta lead at tight end. We're very strong at running back.
Yeah, let's see who's there.
Yeah. Can we pick some winners in if we go QB, can we differentiate ourselves from the crowd, slamming some risers in this range?
I mean,
Mispriced players.
if we take Stafford, I think DeMarcus Robinson makes a lot of sense for us with one of those picks.
Yeah.
I don't know. We could add on a Tyrone Tracy, a running back who doesn't have the week 14 bye, who seems to be rising.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have? Do you have in mind? Who would be a riser that you would like there?
If we go QB, we likely have to go receiver. I would say here because it really starts to fall off. And in this room, like you're not going to get McMillions at 179.
You don't think so?
Not with Bugs and Frank here. So keeping that in mind.
You know your pounders.
Yeah, let's just sort of see what comes back to us. I agree. Even if we get a juicy fall at RB, I don't think we could really take it. Let's see. Purdy's off the board at 119. T-Law. This team has 3 QBs, so sort of drying it up already. This team has 2, so that's fine.
Do they have 4 QBs? They have Hurts too.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh my.
We're in a good spot. And
then this team has 3 QBs with A-Rich, Kyler, and Tua.
The casuals have arrived.
In my opinion, we'll wait for Al Bugs to make his pick. Let's see what Al Bugs does here. Shout out to Chris, Fantasy Football Garage, a little late night grinder himself on the YouTube machine. Check out his content as well while you're at it. I think we push up QB with this in mind that this guy has 4 QBs. Does he go a 5th? This guy has 3. A lot of early investment. It's going to change the room, or at least should, because a lot of teams are going to be reaching for QBs. I don't feel as bad with Staffy because it's correlated, but
as long as you don't want to be reaching for Pearsall with the potential that he's going to be moving up, that would be the one thing that I'm like, we could. We also do have the Fields out now that I see Greenack taking Farmouth. I'm reminded Fields is becoming more interesting. But
yeah, I gave him a slight bump. I moved Fields to the 180 range, I think right behind Derek Carr. We'll start with Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert sounds good to me. And then we don't need to, force Pearsall still ahead of ADP here. But it's an option. Just throwing the name out there.
I have where do I have Pearsall? I have Pearsall up to 125 right now on the latest CSV rankings. Also boosted up J.K. Dobbins, listed as a co-starter with Gus Edwards. Kind of feels
honestly
right.
Honestly, it's just maybe like Gus better that they're listed as co-stars because I just don't see J.K. Dobbins staying healthy with those mismatched legs.
That's been the bet the whole time.
Yeah. So we could go either Stafford or Pearsall. I'm good with whatever you want to do. I'm happy to take Stafford too.
Let's go, Ricky. You're gonna get some crazy rise out of Ricky if it does happen. So
yeah. And we have outs. We have other outs.
Yep. Yeah, we do. We have the Levis. We have it'd be gross, but we could go the New England route too. It's just having both QBs in this game. I don't mind doing it with higher scoring game totals, but
yeah. We also have the very real possibility that Stafford comes back to us. I think is not actually that unlikely. Levis would unfortunately be the same bye week as Herbert, so that out is not as fun. That would probably have to be a 3 quarterback build for sure.
I think when we pass up on Staffy here, like Frank not having a QB and having Cup is just kind of it's kind of like it's yours. It's yours. But he donates one after probably seeing that we passed up on Staffy. Appreciate you, Frank.
Nice.
Giving one to the pound. Who ends up winning it? Let's see. Who hams? Let's go.
Nice.
Al Bugs goes Kirk. This, I'm assuming, is going to be Staffy. Yeah. Says, I'm not messing around. Mooney's getting some good news in camp, being a pretty good target for Captain Kirk there, as well as you pair that with a Rondell Moore injury, I believe carted off practice today.
Yeah.
It's Mooney in the clear number 2, or if you want to be more fair, he's the number 3 pass catcher.
Yeah. I had Scott Barrett on the channel earlier. I remember it was Sunday or Monday, but he was really high on Mooney. And then he was already like, he's a great target where he is, like, he's going to be involved in this offense. And then camp news since then has been all positive for Mooney already. So he's already been a target of mine. And then now Rondell Moore injured as well. So yeah, I do think Mooney is just a great buy right now.
I have a little pounders bet with Ben. Shout out to Ben for a bottle of the tequilas. And it's, I have the Mooney side. Mooney versus Wicks, straight up points.
Ooh, you have the Mooney side. So you're not a ball knower then.
I'm giving him odds. I'm giving him odds.
Nice. What a guy.
Cole Kmet Leggett at 144. Mike Williams at 140 is this good for end of season upside? Should be a red zone target for Rodgers, who we know likes to throw the ball on the freaking 3-yard line. It's can he stay healthy but pick 140 like
feels pretty good. Feels pretty good there. He was going right in that range of like where Wicks is going, right? I feel like forever he was around that 110 kind of range.
Yeah. Oh, Frank. Oh, Frank, take the gifted back. You can take the gifted back. He goes Deshaun. He does or does not have. Oh, he pairs it with Jerome Ford.
Frank, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Punished. We get punished by our own. It's all right.
He did gift a membership. I think he owes another membership. So what I'm thinking. It's the penalty for taking both of our quarterbacks.
He goes, forgive me for what I have done. This is a absolute punishing moment.
Hunter Henry would also be correlated with Justin Herbert. We need a tight end. But yeah, I think
we
I would go Henry first. Right? Who else is available at quarterback?
So much more important. So much more important to go QB here, in my opinion.
But we already have the week 5 bye would be my concern. But sure, I just think Will Levis is probably coming back to us, whereas I don't know that Hunter Henry is. But yeah, whatever.
All right, I like it. You're not gonna.
Depending on what Finga has also.
Like last resort, I'm like, if we lose out on Hunter Henry, I already have 30%. But no, okay. All right, he does go Gino. Let's grab our QB2. Because we're running out of options here. Oh man, you guilt him into another one. Frank.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm sorry.
All right. We forgive you.
So, oh God, that's too much. Thank you, Frank. My God, you didn't have to do that. You really didn't.
That's great. Who got this one? Anybody know?
Yeah, Bestball on call. The regulars in the live stream are winning today. They're winning today. It pays to be in the live stream. So if you're on the Twitter machine, all 41 of you, hit the link, jump in the live stream, subscribe, and you can be a winner of the next giveaway.
That's awesome.
Oh my. Yeah, the QBs got soaked up by some of these guys. I wonder, is this the Drake May reversal? Do we go Jacoby Brissett with this team?
Oh God.
With Stevenson, Hunter Henry, do we leverage the whole field and everyone that has been high on Drake May? Negative news out of New England. Do you see Brissett start, Drake May come back in, and then Brissett end the season? That's like a worry.
Show me the available quarterbacks. Let me see who do we have options with. So, Carr, we took Shaheed, didn't we?
No,
Oh, we didn't take Shaheed. All right.
no, we went B Rob.
Um,
We could late stack Daniel Jones. We can get there with Fields, but week 5 is also a small risk.
oh yeah.
Derek Carr. If we didn't go tight end, then we could have gone Derek Carr, Juwan.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to go like A.T. Perry. It has not been a target for me.
Dude, not with the coach speak, man. Not
Yeah,
with the
it's not
coach
great.
speak. Yeah, the QBs really got pulled up. I would say the ideal target would be Danny Dimes in this case, but I'm not confident that he'll even be there for us.
Is
Douglas off the
Mims,
board.
Denzel Mims still available?
Yeah,
Because that could be another. We could do Mims and,
yeah.
and Knicks or something.
Yeah.
I don't think from what I've seen, it's been pretty mixed. The coach speak for not the coach speak, but the general chatter around Knicks has been not that great. Like he has not looked that good, but I've seen some positive bits here and there.
Yep. Yeah, a lot more positive than on Drake May at least.
Yeah.
Right. It's funny, like you see the Pats lose out a lot earlier in the season on Calvin Ridley, which they were heavily into, and then you find out that the Pats are offering like Kendrick Bourne off the knee injury.
Right.
It's like, what kind of offers are you sent? These are like trade rape offers that I send my at home league friends.
Right.
Like maybe they won't notice.
Right. Exactly.
May as well just add the kicker in there.
Right.
Ben in the house. Riley says, I like it. Spoons.
They did say
God.
Jarrett Stidham is listed as a starter. He is currently the quarterback one. Can't imagine that's true. They're not going to start Jarrett Stidham over Bo Nix, are they? I'd be surprised.
We'll see what preseason brings. But even if that was the case, can Stidham hold on to the job for more than 3 weeks, more than 4 weeks? I doubt it. So week 5, I'm pretty confident that a Bo Nix pairing would probably gel nice with this team.
Yeah.
Less risk than Drake May, in my opinion. But even then,
I think that's true. Yeah.
like
Agreed.
even then, I could still see May playing by week 6 or 7. Like, how long can Brissett hold on to the job realistically? Before the fans, I was at the game where it was like, we booed Mac Jones off the field and requested Bailey Zappi. We got Zappi. We got one good drive, and like that was it.
Amazing, right?
But like the fans called for it in the stands, and we got it after halftime. It was so I do think there will be a lot more pressure on this coaching staff if stuff is going bad with Brissett. That
Sure.
it could be forced into doing that.
Yep.
Ooh, one of these two?
Yeah. Or Mims. I also think Kendra Miller is becoming a buy. Like at this point, when we have 4 running backs, then Kendra Miller at this point feels like he's more likely to be relevant later in the year. So I don't hate him to cover that week 14.
Are we done at receiver with just McMillan here? If we lean into Ricky,
I would actually just do Fields too, but I don't know. Yeah, we could
Fields,
go.
are you confident week 5 he's gonna be playing?
Well, if he starts the year, I think he's most likely playing week 5.
They have Russ listed as a starter right now.
All right, let's go McMillan.
McMillan. We could go Danny Dimes too.
Do we have any Giants? We could go Danny Dimes, and we have 2 more picks. We could do the Theo Johnson thing. Of course, we have 2 tight ends already with Sam Laporta. We don't necessarily need to go 3 tight ends, but kind of interesting options there. Darius Slayton, also a lot of camp buzz there. Or sorry, Jalen Hyatt ahead of Darius Slayton. Yeah.
Hyatt. This room was destroyed in the middle right here with the Joe Burrow, Caleb T. Law, Jalen Hurts team.
Yeah.
That's why we risk it on Ricky. I think if we go back in time, grabbing our
Stafford.
stack there with Staffy was probably going to be the play.
Yeah.
You go with Danny
Perhaps.
Dimes here?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, worst case, you should be covering week 5. You have the rushing upside. Towards the end of the season, is he a little more healthy, with the knee? And
Yeah.
I could see it. I could see it working. But we do have this Levis double stack, which is nice with TP and Calvin Ridley. We have the single stack with Herbert and Palmer, the Henry bring back, as well as the Stevenson bring back. We only need one more RB. It's a very balanced team. We're going to end up with 3-5-8-2, which is nice. I mean, we don't even need an 8th receiver on this team, to be honest. If you lean into Ayuk being traded, Ricky being worth a top 100 pick or near 100, you could stop with that capital right there.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we're very strong at RB too. So this, at the worst case, ends up being a pretty damn good advance rate team with some correlated pieces for week 17.
Yeah, I think we're looking good. I think we need at least one more running back, 1 to 2 more running backs. If Tyrone Tracy falls, maybe he could be our correlation with Danny Dimes. Not the strongest correlation, but
I love it. I love it.
I think he's a solid pick anyway.
I know. I haven't been leaning into the uncertainty in Tracy, and maybe today's the day.
I've been leaning into it a little bit. I mean, he's on the Giants regardless. So what is the upside? He's probably not going to be like a true league winner, but could be a mid-sized win, I think.
You have Rice being mixed in with the ones. You got to think they're just not happy with Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, he's looked so bad. I'm taking that L already. I think with Quentin, he's somebody that he was never a huge target of mine, but I was willing to draft him while I was talking to I remember talking to Sacriletus pre-draft. I was like, yeah, in this pre-draft, I'm taking some Quentin Johnson. He was like, yeah, I'm just out on Quentin Johnson. You can have him take all the Quentin Johnson. I was like, I mean, I feel like he was a good bet. Should have opportunities, and now I think I'm just taking the L because just looks really bad.
Austin says, drop the like if you haven't for the second draft. Yeah, we do have a little 50 likes for the second draft. We're at 48 with 1-2 rounds to go. Oh, yeah, that's most likely going to hit. On 3, we're all going to hit the like 1, 2, 3. We just went backwards. We're at 42. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
If everyone hits the like, yeah, it could happen. JJ McCarthy off at 191. I like the McCarthy bet. I'm feeling more confident now with some of the throws he's making in camp, but he's still tricky for me. In my opinion, he has less upside than Purdy. Very strong offense, but where Purdy had so many of his players smash last year and have RB1 numbers, tight end 1 numbers, wide receiver 1 numbers, Purdy didn't have a single QB1 finish.
Right.
I kind of view JJ McCarthy in that manner. A lot of his team is going to be successful. They could have really good games, but I don't think JJ McCarthy is someone that is going to burn you or separate from the field.
Probably not. Yeah, I think he's a fine late round pick, but not a huge priority for me. You say that, Brock Purdy didn't have a single QB1, as in top 12 quarterback?
Overall.
Okay.
QB1
gotcha.
overall. Oh, he had plenty of.
Damn, that's how? Why are we drafting him here? Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Plenty of top 12 QB finishes.
Yeah,
very consistent. Tracy goes.
Two, 4, 7, 2. Or sorry, 3, 4, 7, 2.
Good with Braylon Allen here.
Yeah, I like Braylon Allen. I like Will Shipley, Roshan. A lot of good choices here.
Do you want the receiver or do you want to go Dana Jones naked?
I'm always pro stacking. So if we have I
Is
assume
Hyatt still
Hyatt
available?
went. All right,
Yeah,
Hyatt
Hyatt
went.
went. He's my highest, I think one of my highest 18th round guys right now.
I wouldn't be opposed to Theo Johnson. Also, throw on another
Oh,
tight end.
I don't know how many points we get from Theo.
Are you ready to find out?
Trey Sermon? Bring
Go your
back?
way. Get your guy. Get your guy.
Oh, we'll go last round Trey Sermon. I like him as a leverage piece. Like top 50% of teams aren't clicking him. The Theo Johnson's also nice though. Theo Johnson's a very good shout, having a good camp, and they like him. They like him a lot. It's gonna be interesting how they can develop him. But Theo Johnson's a really, really good shout. If we don't go Hunter Henry here, I'm trying to figure out where we could have gone different. Obviously, the Staffy instead of Ricky, just sort of reading the room, could have changed this team a little bit. But I think from an advance rate standpoint, it's still a very, very strong team.
Yeah, no, I think it is a solid team. We have Levis double stacked, right? We got Ridley and we have one of the running backs. Ty I think is there. It's kind
Yeah,
of nice having that little
Pollard.
double stack there, or Pollard. Okay.
I think leaning in, if we go Theo there, I just have the problem with like we're giving up basically a third or fourth round pick with Laporta.
Yeah.
So if he has the bad game and you're in a pool of 539, you're just leaning so heavily into Laporta. But can Theo Johnson ping pong you there? Or can he have that week 17? We've seen tight ends like
Yeah.
the guy
Can
that
surprise.
the least expected guy get you there. Like Juwan Johnson spike week last year after doing nothing all season, being injury riddled, and then having a week 17 spike week. You see it from tight end. So
Yeah.
curious what you guys would have wanted there in the chat as a last round click. If you were running back, we had Hyatt disappear. Does that mean you go Slayton there, or are you tight end?
I still think we should have gone Justin Fields instead of Jalen McMillan.
Justin
I'm
Fields has said Jalen McMillan.
just because we needed a quarterback to cover that bye week. I feel like it's just he's a potential like big riser. So part of it is just like I'm trying to get my Justin Fields exposure, around pick. If you can get him around pick 180, I think that he makes a lot of sense just because I think he has the potential to be like an enormous riser. So like when
Yeah.
he makes sense on your team to cover a bye week, that's like to
Your
me, I like that.
conviction of him playing week 5 is so much higher than mine. It's so much higher than mine.
It's
Trey
not
Sermon,
super high.
we do get a little extra EV for a week 16 bring back in
That's
Tennessee.
nice. Okay.
And you get the week 17 against the Giants. Obviously unstacked Danny Dimes. We've seen less hit. But yeah, what's the thinking for Fields week 5? Do you think he's starting week 1 over Russ? Is that due to injury or is that just due to outplaying him? What's the
Combo.
narrative?
Like I think
Okay.
Russ being a little bit banged up right now has opened the door to Fields potentially being the starter. There's been some buzz that he might just have the ability to start the year as the starter. I think that if that comes to fruition, he's just going to be moving up, 9 rounds maybe. Like he's going to move up so much in that scenario that I just want to pack my bags a little bit right now. He's not like a huge priority for me, but I've seen him go, around pick 160 in drafts. So I'm like, okay, if he falls to me around pick 180 and I have a need there for him, I'm just like, yeah, I'll take him in those spots, which is kind of the scenario here. Just, get your bags packed in case because he is one of those, like you talk about, like there are a lot of players that like, okay, you rise from round 18 to round 15. Who really cares? You just take him around 15, then doesn't really hurt you that much. But Fields is one of the rare, like, I think that he is the rare 18th round pick who could become a 9th round pick. So it's like, I think that is actually a big loss if he becomes the week 1 starter and you don't have a fair bit of Fields in your bags.
And then you do have if Fields plays 51% of the snaps this year, or the games, excuse me. Is it snaps or games? I forget.
Well,
If Fields, it's in his contract. If he plays 51%, basically Pittsburgh has to give a 4th round pick instead of a 6th round pick. So there's actually incentive for them to play him under 50%. Now, if he's that much better than Russ, it doesn't matter. Like they'll just eat it if he's really gonna give them that big of an advantage to win. But if he plays under 50%, then they give up a 6th round pick for him. So we'll see if that has anything to do with the way into the equation. But the way I see Fields is there was hysteria with him playing because Russ wasn't in training camp, and
Right.
then the starters came out, the depth chart came out. It has Russ ahead of Justin Fields. I believe that was reconfirmed through the coaches as well with coach speak. So I do think the hysteria is going to come down.
Okay.
I don't think he's a bad click still. Uh, in that 160 to 190 range.
I
I
had not
want
seen
I
the
prep
coach speak confirming Russ as the week one starter. So if there is coach speak confirming Russ as the week one starter, you're probably right that like the hysteria is fat past that like fever pitch point
yeah.
where it is maybe we don't need to be, reaching for Russ.
So another thing just an hour ago, Mike Tomlin states it's very much a competition for QB1, but says the depth chart released yesterday where Russell Wilson is QB1 is real.
Okay. That's
So
worth something.
that's where I get a little wary that Justin Fields is playing week 5. I do think it's a gamble. And I mean, we're in the gambling space, so it's not crazy. If we had a Pittsburgh piece, if it was Freiermuth, if it was Pickens, even if it was Ayuk, it could be fun to bring in. I'd be
Tie.
100% leaning into Fields in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
scenario.
Right. If you
So
have the stack, that makes sense.
breaking ties that way. If you don't have time, completely okay. I'm going to be ripping a Poodle, if you guys can find it, because I can't. The Poodle 2
Is this
plus
is this
5.
super flex or is this
No, they just dropped a 10 entry max Poodle, 1 out of 12 advance, 2 out of 12, and then 2
1
out
out of
of
12?
9.
Interesting.
Very, very,
Tough
very
one.
interesting. And I want to say, yeah, they're not paying the min cash. I don't think they're paying you for any finish in week 15. You have to get to week 16, which is going to result in much higher payouts at the top, not paying out the min cashes.
Right. What's the rake on this one? Has that changed at all, or is it
It's
still like
higher.
11?
Now it's 11.8.
Okay.
Higher, not compared to DK, but
Right.
Underdogs, I want to say this is their highest percent. They go down to like 8.8 on some of the higher stake stuff I've noticed.
Do they really?
Andrew
I've
now
seen
in these streets, now that he's not a Underdog employee.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andrew. Let's go. Got the red badge already and everything. He's ready to draft.
Well, he's been playing for forever on Underdog, right? Like before he was an
Yeah.
employee, I think he was playing.
Yeah. That's awesome. Jeremy says in the 3 spot. Frank, thanks for drafting with us. You can take a look at that team as well. We have plenty of time.
Number
We
99.
had 2 pounders. Yeah. Frankie in the 6 spot. Staffy, Watson, and Russ. Barkley, Harris, Chase Brown, Ford, and Dobbins. I like this room. Hero running back build around Barkley, but I like this range also grabbing RBs. Amon-Ra, Cup, Pickens, Godwin, McConk, Brandon Cooks, DeMarcus Robinson, Mims, and Dorsch also like really strong at receiver. 9 receivers and goes 1 tight end. I wonder if that was intentional.
Ooh.
Wonder if that was
Don't love that.
intentional.
Don't love the single tight end personally.
Yeah, give me the second tight end. But still a strong team. Josh Allen, Cousins, Brees Hall, Connor, Mostert, Algier, and Ray Davis is a fun backfield there. London, Moore, Reed, Addison, Shaheed, Polk, DJ Chark, and Luke McCaffrey. He's got some bringbacks. He's got his stacks, both RBs stacked with the QB. Pitts, Likely, and Sinnott. I think maybe a little weak at receiver,
yeah.
but
But if Addison is not suspended, and it sounds like it's more and more likely that it's like a 2-game suspension, might be okay.
I do like, and we leaned into that as well on our draft that we did on your stream.
Yeah. Yep.
You go with Garrett Wilson here?
Yeah.
All right. If you have to take off, do you have time for another one? I don't want to pressure you.
No, I can stick around.
All right, cool. Love the day streams. Hate the work firewall. We got you covered today. 1 out of 12. You're really going to be min-maxing this initial room because this is the hardest room until the finals. Like this is 1 out of 5. This is 1 out of 4.5. 1 out of 12. You're really min-maxing here.
I wonder how they're going to handle the like what you're currently winning. Like usually you can see like, okay, you see what you are guaranteed to win if you move on. I guess it would be 0 all year, which I don't love that for these contests if that is the case, because then you just can't like get an idea of how you're doing until you click into it. I kind of like, the usually in the Underdog
Yeah.
app you can see that, get an idea of how you're doing in a contest by like what are you currently winning.
Right. Now it'll average into your, 2 out of 12s, the 1 out of 12. But if
Right.
it's only like a 10 entry max, you're doing like 900 of them, it shouldn't affect it too much.
Right. True.
This is, I think, a good spot to be in
This
with
is a good spot to be in. I
Marv
like
and
both those
Debo there.
options. Yep.
We have Debo pushed up to 14 right now.
Let's go.
We've had him at 15 like the whole year. So
Oh, have you really? So you probably have a good amount of Debo.
Yeah, we're at 18%. These are BBM exposures too. So we definitely leaned into Debo with the slight chance of an Ayuk movement. And then on top of just being a good leverage piece off CMC. When you can't get CMC, like Debo in a single game slate is just like, he's worth a lot. He's worth a lot.
Yep. Al asking, what's your thoughts on slows versus fast when it's low max entry? I prefer slows, to be honest. It doesn't really, the type of contest doesn't really affect it for me, like the low max entry versus being able to max 150. Do you have a thought preference?
I definitely want to get in a contest like this that's going to fill quick. I think that's the key thing. It's not the low max entry. I think it's how fast it fills and then having just so much more extended time. In this case, this one's not going to fill fast. This one's going to fill relatively slow, being a 10 entry max in this many entrants.
Good point.
So I don't really care all that much to do a slow draft, maybe right before it closes, but that could be, this could be up there for 10 days.
Yeah,
you have the Rottweiler. You have the Rottweiler that's still open, and that was a 4 entry max, right? So
is it still open? Man,
it's still open. So those contests, it really limits and it shows you like, oh wow, the degens are really maxing these contests and filling them quick. The people that use the join 150 now button,
right?
That Underdog added.
Yep. How do you feel about using the full 8-hour clock in slows at this point of the year?
Yeah, I think it depends. Like if you're trying to overnight someone, like you're on the clock at 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. I think it's worth it to just make your pick to try to get someone to auto, especially if you can break a build. It's dirty, but like that's the field we're in, boys. But yeah, like extended your time. Like if you're in the one spot and you get that news in the 7th hour that CMC hurts his calf, are you changing to Lamb?
Probably. I don't know.
So it's interesting. You should definitely be using your time though. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to overnight someone.
I've been using my time without really intending to, just because I'm in so many drafts right now that I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, I'm on the clock. I have had that happen to me where I have been done dirty, where I ended up with, weekly winners, ended up taking totally unstacked Dak when I really needed something else. Oh man, should have queued up more players apparently.
That's the leverage.
Yeah.
Did you stack them at the end there with like Tolbert or someone gross? I think that could
it's a slow draft, so I still can. I probably will later on.
Yeah.
But it just feels like it's a dead roster spot anyway for weekly winners.
Give us Henry here. If not, like, aren't elite QBs going to be very important in a 1 out of 12? Ooh.
Henry would be good. Kelsey Mahomes, I'd be fine with. Yeah, let's go Henry.
Let's go Henry for the ceiling. Again, like you're leveraging the Lamar team, so that's one team out that you're depending on Derrick Henry here to steal 14 plus of those touchdowns. We have Debo. We're leveraging elite offenses already.
Yeah.
So
here, if he's still available, my pick would normally be Josh Allen because we already have the bring back. We could potentially get Kincaid to fall back to us. But I'm not. If you want to go, I mean, ETN there. If you think ETN's a mover, we could go ETN. hard to go wrong here. I feel like we have a lot of good
Yeah.
options.
I guess what's the best value range, would you say, for QBs? If 1 out of 12 advance, that's the thing with elite QBs is like, yeah, they could separate. It's really hitting on that second QB and ping ponging.
The best value
Okay,
range for
Josh Allen
quarterbacks.
goes.
Okay. Honestly, I feel like the range around pick like 95, 96, where you can get like Jordan
Dak
Love, Dak Prescott, Jaden
and
Daniels.
then
There's
T
just
Law.
so many. Yeah.
I agree. Do you want to go Pacheco here?
I'd go with Pacheco.
All right. This is beautiful. Right now, we're leveraging Mahomes, you're leveraging Mahomes, excuse me, Lamar, and then CMC in a way. Hopefully you don't get the CMC team to also take Lamar because then it's only one team out of the equation sort
Yeah.
of thing. But yeah, 1 out of 12 is definitely an interesting contest. And it's big. Like with 120 seat final. So what's the payout? 200 for bottom 20. It doesn't start really climbing until top 35. You're getting about
750.
100. Yeah. Top 10's 4K plus. I
So
mean, it's
this only pays
so.
out the final, right? That's
I want to say it pays out week 16 too. Correct me if I'm wrong, boys. No, it's just the
120.
final. You're right. Just the final.
That's tough, man. Having to make the final to make money.
Especially like I'll do the math real quick for everyone. It is tough. 1 divided by 12 is what, like 8.3%
Yep.
times 1 out of, was it 1 out of 5? So times 0.2 is 1.6% times basically the same. It's a little better odds. Oh God. It's a fraction. It's a fraction.
Yeah. It's a tough
If you're
one.
j-
It's a tough
if you're
tournament.
just doing one, now if you max it, it'll be this times 10. It'll be about just under 3% if you max to make the finals.
Yeah, and that's to make any money. So you're probably getting $0 back on this one. Just something to keep in
Right,
mind. But
right. But you have to be okay with that. Same thing with the Bulldog. And
yeah,
that was the $75 one where it didn't pay the initial advancement. It's like your bankroll to actually do these contests would have to be very high
right.
from a standpoint of like staying afloat and doing these
Yeah. If you
over
do
and
too
over
many of
again.
these, you're likely losing your money in all of them. So yeah, you need to have the bankroll to be able to lose all that money.
Okay, so the Lamar team, Lamar, Kyron, Cooper Cup, Tyreek Hill. Let's see what CMC squad does here. Jalen Hurts brings in AJ Brown. He brings in Mahomes. Interesting choice. Like,
Throwing
interesting choice.
Hollywood, Rushy Rice. I don't. Yeah, I've been more and more in on the Chiefs in general, like getting just counting on their defense being a little bit worse, their offense being significantly better with better pass catchers. So I don't hate. I've been trying to up my Mahomes exposure also.
If he brings in Rice here, I'm fine with it.
Not Hollywood.
If
You're
he
not a
just
Hollywood guy.
I'm not a Hollywood guy. I'm
Okay.
just faded him last year. It worked. Fading him this year. Hollywood goes. See what he does with 50. Because you're 99% chance like you're not getting a KC piece back anymore at 71.
Yeah.
Where
I'm definitely taking a KC piece here if I'm him. Yeah, he goes Rice.
yeah,
Probably the right call with Hollywood
and
gone. I think Rice is just auto click there.
and this is a time box contest, right? So like
Yeah.
Rice, you care even less about his rise. But Andrew in the live stream, what's up, buddy? Said, do you even realize you were streaming? Yeah, we already gave you the shout. Much deserved here. Now in
Nice.
these streets once again with the red badge. Mark Andrews, Lamar. And then you have Alex who's just punishing everyone. Just like, all right, I'm just going to keep clicking
Oh
these
yeah.
receivers.
Got a lot of late round quarterback options. Probably Burrow at the next turn. I like that. That's a nice team.
I also like playing this on the ground too, grabbing if you are right on these guys, and then potentially hitting hitting the value spot of running backs. If you can find the piece that is mispriced in this range, and then just kind of leaning into running back hitting the flex, you can get a shit ton of points that way.
Yeah.
George Kittle off at 54.
Ooh.
I think we have to double tap receiver though here at 58.
I think we do too. Yeah.
Like whether we like it or not. Oh my, Buffalo. Buffalo, please. How much better is Marv Harrison Jr. than Brendan Rice?
Oh God. Significantly is the answer.
Happy August. Happy August. Andrew brings in Keenan Allen. Who's on the board?
I like our options.
I'd honestly be happy with 2 of these 3.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Which way do you lean for our first?
I'm a Godwin guy. I'm a fan of Godwin. Different bye week helps. Quarterback available late. It's good.
And then you're okay with passing on Kincaid?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we have to.
Although it is painful to know that if we had gone with Josh Allen, we might have been able to get Kincaid paired with him. But that should be the option there for Zewensley, maybe.
Max Payne.
Depending on what K-Will does here.
This guy goes A-Rich instead of, oh, God.
He has two stacks already. If you're going to go Hurts and Richardson, I like it better when he does have both stacked up.
At least it makes sense. Wow, he gets it at 60.
Kincaid at 60.
And James Cook, he's feeling good.
That's the dream right there, yeah.
Double tap at receiver there for him, and he's absolutely cooking. We have Pacheco. Does that make you want to go Deontay Johnson here?
Oh, no. I don't mind pairing Pacheco with Worthy. I think I prefer Worthy of the 2, in part because we do have Godwin, so we probably don't want to go both Baker and Bryce. They have the same bye week.
Not the most elite QBs. Is that what we're boiling it down to?
Yeah. I guess that also would be they play each other week 17. So I guess that could have been in favor of Deontay Johnson versus Chris Godwin, but
it's gonna mean a lot more to take less zeros too in a contest like this, 1 out of 12.
Yeah.
Not that Worthy, I think, is a 0. I think Worthy's a good click here. He's a ceiling play, and you want ceiling guys in a contest that's 1 out of 12 advance rate for sure. You can't play this one safe.
For sure.
But yeah, late QB options, I like what we have. And then what comes back to us, we could potentially get like Love Dobbs in that later range. Maybe 106 is a Dobbs click, but we'll have to see. Purdy's probably a pretty high priority target for us, I would think, with Debo.
Yeah, I'd be happy to get Purdy.
Like Purdy.
We have other options, which is nice.
Bake is probably like a good advance.
Yeah, I mean, if we get those 3, I'd love to have that trio of quarterbacks for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so our picks are 82 and 87. So probably not this next turn. We probably push it to the next one and hope that Purdy falls.
Yeah, he should be there at 106. We'll have to let's look.
His ADP is like is around that 111, right? So yeah, we should be good.
I mean, if the Ayuk team thinks he's still on San Fran, he already has Stroud. The Kittle squad doesn't have a QB. Not sure if QB the King's in the live stream too. Andrew says, what was that Kittle Stroud back to back? Yeah, where is it? Oh. Just going and get your guys, I guess. It's interesting Stroud unstacked for sure.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Especially because I don't personally think he's the best like value.
No, he's not a great value.
His ADP, so
he's also his ADP has fallen to like the 70s. So he took him way ahead of ADP unstacked.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
It's tough because
was anybody doing like a full on stack with the? I see Tank Dell there, so I guess that's just a single.
Dude, he steals him from Andrew. Oh my, I'm seeing it now. He had the double.
Yep,
oh, that's dirty.
That is painful.
Oh, that's dirty.
Super dirty.
No, oh, Like how does the Stroud team win a 1 out of 12 contest when someone has the double stack of the receivers?
Right.
I like Andrew's chances of just going a random QB. He's already setting up something else really nice. So Kyler goes at 73. Some of these QBs are being pushed up. Joe Burrow at 68. Just something to note.
I'm trying to see if Andrew did something to the tone. Like, did he snipe him somewhere else? I don't know. What was the point of that?
This could date back. You know, he could have his name just on a sticky note from a previous date. Andrew must have did him dirty in some way.
Right. Yeah. He just remembers.
Unintentionally. Yeah.
I do wonder that sometimes. I'm like, when I see some of the snipes, I'm like, is this like a feud that I don't know I'm in right now?
Yeah. Guys, if you haven't already, go down, drop the like on the live stream. Haven't dropped the PR in a minute. Also, hit the subscribe button. We're on the way to 2K subs for a 24-hour live stream. Give Neil a follow. Link is in the description. His Twitter machine and his YouTube as well. Also on the way to 2K and the road to 150 BBM live streamed.
That's
Crazy
right.
challenge. Crazy challenge.
I still haven't decided if I'm going to do a live stream this afternoon to get to
Nice.
my 100th. I might try to get to 100 has been the plan. I said it on the
Nice.
stream yesterday that I'm going to try to beat Pete to his 100th stream, kind of as a joke, because he was mentioning that he wants to do a big 100th stream. I think he might have done it, though, today on the Swolecast. So I'll have to see if he did.
Yeah. Ooh, I sort of like getting Jake Ferguson and Dak here too, which is interesting. What are your thoughts here?
I was going to say Keon Coleman for the Garrett Wilson bring back, but I would be fine with going Ferguson Dak. That's always a fun one. Should be able to do it too because CD is on the other side of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
with QBs being pushed up in this room, I think you get a little extra value from Dak, even just 8 picks before ADP.
Yeah, I'm happy to get that. I really like the Dallas stack in general.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like you never get Dak with both CD and Ferguson anymore.
It's tough. It's tough. I think it requires actually reaching on Ferguson here at
then
73, which I do a lot, or wherever he goes at 74, and then you're getting Dak at 95.
That's a good call.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
And you're getting different. I did that with the CMC. Who do we have fall to us? Might have been a CMC Debo, and then someone else like CMC Olave Debo. It was a crazy combo. I was like, okay, bringing up Jake Ferguson here is going to be very different. And let's see if it works. Let's see if it works.
Ooh, back-to-back Z Wednesday. Man, he's getting his Buffalo guys. Gets Coleman and Samuel along with Dalton Kincaid. Happy for him.
All right, let's see if this room continues to misprice QBs. Joe, this is your time. Jaden Daniels, 88.
You need him, Joe. You need Jaden Daniels.
This is your time to shine. Don't fail us now. Or the Stroud team bringing in the double week 14 would be fun. Jaden Daniels here at 90. QBs may be pushed up all week with the San Fran contest open.
Super flex contest.
Dude, I just go right to San Fran news. I'm
like
Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall. Does that stand for Ricky Pearsall? A mini bump to QBs. Yeah, people are just not translating well to the next contest, perhaps.
Yep. That's funny. I had not thought of that correlation, but that makes sense.
Could definitely be a thing. This guy goes in the first round in the other room.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Jordan Love off at 90. Pairs him with Reed. Damn. Just really putting off receiver. 3 receivers through 8 rounds. I mean, we only have 4, but that 106.
Also reaches on Ayuk. I guess not a reach on Ayuk, but takes Ayuk, not letting him fall.
I think I'll type some names out to the private chat, but or even just positional. Yeah, something like this. I would think
has not come through yet.
No,
for me.
I'm typing out. Now I'm
Oh, I
typing out
see.
the
I see.
pick
I see.
numbers. We're really getting descriptive here in the
Nice.
private
Love it.
chat. It's the
We
full
are
on
planning
blue.
ahead.
This is the blueprint right here. Make sure it's not the common chat, okay? The QB ADP should be on separate slices. Oh, they are. They 100%
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Dobbs goes at 91. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
Al Boogie says Tomlinson confirmed there
okay.
is quarterback competition. Yeah, I think that's what Pat said he had said earlier. Which
Yeah,
we
but
probably jumped the shark a little bit with assuming that it was going to be Justin Fields, but
Russell Wilson as QB1 is real. Like, it's his job to lose, and Russ played well enough even last year to probably not lose that job in Pittsburgh, at least for a while. At least
you
for a
could
while.
interpret that as Russ being the quarterback one. Like he says it's competition. That might mean that the depth chart itself, like overall, it's a real depth chart, but like you have to list somebody first. So listing Russ first might not mean anything with the additional information that he says is quarterback competition.
Yeah.
But I think he's been saying that Russ is the QB1 going in all along. So I think that probably the right way
There's,
to interpret it is
there's,
Russ is in the lead.
there's just a good chance you see both of these guys this year, and like, good luck panning out which weeks it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's like that in a couple offenses right now.
Albogi says he has a solo Fields team. What?
Just one. I think I have 3% in BBM. Like, my comfort blanket of 3% is usually when I miss out on other QBs. Yeah, we're at 3, which
Well,
is
what do you
usually
mean by
they're very
solo QB? You
correlated.
mean solo stacked? Or I took that to
I
mean he
think
has
one.
only
I think
Fields as his
just.
quarterback.
No, I think he has just one Fields team.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I've got a few. I've got a few Fields teams. Not as much as I wish I had right now.
Probably late to this, but y'all know webcam is off, right? Huh?
What
I'm so
webcam?
lost. Guessing this is because of screen share. So you cannot see our faces? Is that what's happening?
Can't see what? I
I
can
don't
see
know.
everything just fine.
I'm lost. I'm lost, Andrew.
Yeah.
Fully.
Help us out.
We need more deets. Ooh, let's see.
1,
Njoku's
2,
on
4,
the board
1.
right now. We can't go Njoku, but Njoku seems like a really good click in this range too. If we didn't go Jake. Pat's face has been blank for at least 10 minutes.
Is that real?
We have seen Neil the whole time, but not.
I can see you just fine. That's funny.
That's crazy. I'll have to like refresh or something.
Try moving your face above mine. See what happens there. Yeah, Cooks looks good.
Pat's been gone all stream. What? I don't know what's going on. Are you comfortable with Cooks here?
Yeah.
Let me try just like turning off my camera and turning it back on. You guys, no, now I feel like I'm being trolled. Now I have to open up my own stream. Of course we hit an ad. Like, who puts ads? No, just kidding.
That's really funny. The whole time I could see you just fine. Interesting.
You know what? I wonder. Oh yeah, 100%. No way.
I thought they were trolling you. I was like, they colluded in your Discord or something to make a joke.
It shows us. It could have been. It could have been a hoax the whole time. That's so funny. Let me see. Oh yeah, it wasn't. They were not kidding. I love how it was actually brought up. I want to see how late it was actually brought up.
Like how long could they not see you before Andrew was like, oh yeah, by the way. Also, you guys have been muted the entire stream, by the way, just so you know.
Dude, we had a ghost drafter. The ghost of Pat. Dude, the Njoku fall, like, stop. Someone take him. Andrew, I think we're just going to take Caleb here. Like, I think we have to. It's just such a good range for naked Caleb.
I wouldn't hate the taking the fall on Zach Moss. Okay, there he goes. Save us from ourselves. We could go to Njoku here. No reason we can't do bully tight end and be done.
Where the F did Purdy go? 102.
102. Okay.
Like, with Kittle, I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
We got Dak. We can do a 2 quarterback bill with Dak and Deshaun.
yeah. This is still strong, dude. That's so funny.
Also
That's
might be
why
able to get
Pepper asked
Judy.
about your fan. Yeah, it wasn't on. See, I clicked the button. I have to just double check on it. Maybe Maybe it's yeah, good. All right, so Andrew gets his double stack at least. He does complete the O'Dunes, Keenan Allen. It would have been really, really nice if I mean if he got Stroud here, but you know, you can't control what the room does. So we're winning tight end. We are going to go value at QB with Dak is the thought with Rodgers, and maybe we get Baker.
Yeah, we could stop with 2 quarterbacks, I think, or go through. Either way works for
Mm-hmm.
this team. When you have Dak, I think we're counting on Dak having a good year. Taking it at pick 87, I'd be okay stopping it too.
I like what we have Bill so far. It's very balanced. We're
Yeah.
strong at RB. We'll probably have to grab an RB in the 130, 135 range, but he goes, "Thank you for not sniping me after I basically fixed your webcam issue." I was
You're welcome.
uh your camera was behind Neil's. No, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. So when it overheats, it will just like a message will come up and it won't show my face. So like that's where it was showing me on StreamYard so I could see Neil and myself. Who knows? Who knows?
How many first-time viewers came in and wondered how Neil had 2 voices? Yeah, it's a good question.
Crazy, crazy. Bruce Almighty. All right. 1252. It is a little tougher, I've noticed, to navigate these waters of like all these 0 RB prototypes that we like. They're sort of all pushed up in ADP.
The running backs you usually like as targets here. Yeah, that's true. It's been I've been doing a good bit more like anchor running back, or even
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like we did here, two earlier running backs, so that you're not feeling as behind here, where it's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I have one running back and I'm deciding between Marshawn Lloyd and Zach Charbonnet for my RB2. It's like that does not feel good. So
It's
I have been pushing running backs up a bit.
yeah, same. I think that's the right thing to do, and now you're hitting different value pockets, maybe in positions that you weren't drafting before, and that will just change your portfolio as well as we draft into August.
Yeah.
Jerome Ford off the board. Dak could just be a good value this year at his ADP, and obviously leading into a contest like this, that's 1 out of 12. You're trying to min max points. Purdy
Yeah.
would have been nice though, because then we could have gone Ricky. I think in this situation, it's sort of a little tougher to go Ricky and Debo, but
We just have 2 running backs. Is that right?
yeah, just two.
Okay. Yeah. So we
Which
probably
like double anchor, early double anchor with Derrick Henry and Pacheco. So
right. Very strong.
you're also leaning so much more into your early capital being right in a 1 out of 12 advance. It is the ultimate draft like you're right contest.
True.
I'm gonna hate to see if some of these RBs go off and like Pat Fry's there.
Give us another late round quarterback out. Week 1 starter Justin Fields at Pat Fryermuth. He supported a
I can't
good tight end in the past. Cole Kmet.
think. Don't go Charbonnet here, Joe. Like, there's no way you find the Charbonnet click. There's no chance. There's no chance. I just assumed it was a Neil stream. That's awesome.
That's funny.
I'm
All right. Sharbs, is that your guy?
yeah. I
Your
wouldn't
Sharbs
mind.
over Gus Edwards. That's interesting. I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
because I think we can get both.
True.
I think we can get both.
But Gus Edwards.
Oh, Gus. I'm sorry. For whatever reason, my mind went to J.K. Dobbins
Oh
because he's the starter.
no, Gus is the starter all day. J.K. Dobbins. I'll take J.K. Dobbins here or there, but I'm not going to be chasing him up the board. I'm still
Mm.
team Gus.
All right. If Gus falls back to us, I'm definitely open to that. I'm definitely open to that.
Who knows? Maybe I'm still like anchored to the just looking at his legs being completely different sizes and that being something you don't want in a running back. Maybe he's
It's getting
exercised that
better.
one
It's
leg
getting
strong
better.
enough that it's better now.
I feel a little better with what's coming back to us. I will say Gus is probably better in a format like this, where it's going to be played a little more like a cash game, but you still have that playoff format.
Right.
And his ceiling, in my opinion, is not as high as Zach Charbonnet's ceiling outcome. That's sort of the way I weigh it. But this is the range that I'm clicking him. Like, we have him ranked at 131. You know, we didn't take him at 130. Trust the ranks. Gus Edwards
Gus
goes.
goes.
Are you good with Ty here?
Sure.
Or
Yeah, we can go Ty or Fryermuth. Those would be my options. Fryermuth
I
or
think we
Ty
have to
Chandler.
lean. I think we have to lean into this.
Oh, we already have two tight ends. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ty
yeah,
Chandler,
yeah.
Ty Chandler.
And that's where if we don't go Najoke, if we go like Spears and we get Fryermuth, of course, like everything's 2020 hindsight.
But like
But
Njoku is so much better than Fryermuth. Like it's not like we're making the same bet on these two tight ends.
yep,
I just forgot that we had taken a second.
it's interesting, like the 2 for 2 there, but obviously you just can't. You just don't know. You just don't know who's going to be there at the time. But the 2 for 2, who would you rather, or the 1 for 1 swap? Would you rather Njoku and Ty Chandler or Tajay Spears and Pat Fryermuth, I guess?
Njoku and Ty Chandler.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
I
like Spears, but I feel like Ty Chandler, I wouldn't be that shocked if Ty Chandler has the same kind of year as Tajay Spears. Like, we got the news that their co-stars. I think Ty Chandler is going to be involved right away. Also, I do think Aaron Jones is like the clear 1A, but like Ty Chandler might be a 1B for the Vikings. Some of the Vikings players have said we have 2 starting running backs.
Yeah.
I do think there's talent there, and I do still have concerns about like we forget that Tajay Spears only has one knee, so maybe we should have a little bit of concern there.
Yeah, but
still,
Tajay Spears also also lacking body parts in the knees. So no ACLs.
Ty Chandler or
no, Tajay Spears.
oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ty Chandler's fun here for this build as well.
Yeah. But I feel like, I mean, yeah, I go back and forth. Now I'm going back and forth on the questions. Like, yeah, they're both kind of like separate tiers where you wouldn't be totally shocked if Fryermuth outscored Njoku. I think that would be more shocking to me to see Fryermuth outscored Njoku.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
but
not.
it's
I
points.
Know.
It's points over. I guess it's points over replacement from Jake Ferguson though versus RB3.
Yeah,
probably a little more common to hit the flex and or maybe mix in to RB1 or RB2. So I think that's where it's like, I think it's very close when you're especially min-maxing a 1 out of 12 advance.
Yep. Charbs and Chandler have week 16 correlation. Yeah, that's true.
Not always super positively correlated having both RBs in the same game script. It's just it's not the worst thing, but it is, I think, a little more on the negative side.
Yep.
A little thinner to hit, I guess you could say.
Yep.
This will be the one room that like Aaron Rodgers is steamed up the board for
right. Aaron Rodgers
for no
like,
reason.
You'll see him fall to pick 190 when you don't have anybody on the Jets, and then he is kind of an all over the board. I feel like a lot of these later quarterbacks have a wide range where they go.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
We have the Baker out there too.
Yes. Yep. I wouldn't mind 3 QBs on a team like this, especially like we save a roster spot at tight end. We're probably only going 5 RBs. We're not going to need 9 receivers. I think we do end up with 3 QBs here in a perfect world.
I'd be fine either way. With Dak, you take either of the available options for us: Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield. I think all are fine as the second quarterback in a Dak build, to be honest. So, but I'd be fine going either way. I do think I've been more and more inclined to go with 6 running backs because I feel like there is a lot of upside in some of the later. Like I think Audric Esme has like league winning upside. I kind of like Tyrone Trace. I think like there are bets, like late round running back
Yeah.
bets. That I kind of Ray Davis. So that's
They
why I'm
do seem like they have more upside than the receivers late. I
yeah.
agree. Justin Herbert's sitting here at 154.
We don't have anybody on the Chargers, do we?
Not yet. Not yet. Late DJ Chark, will that do it for you here?
Or Cowing, or not Cowing, Rice.
Right.
I don't know.
Or
I
do
guess
we?
if you want to do Justin Herbert, I think he's falling. So like I think that this might be the range you can just get him in going forward. But
Do you want to go Chuba then?
sure, yeah, let's go Chuba.
I think we could confidently stop here at 5 RBs, and then you just hope stuff breaks right. Like you're leaning into these two. It's a lot of capital. It's a lot of touches every week. And then you're leaning into stuff breaking right. You're going to have early rolls from Ty Chandler and Chuba Hubbard. You should have a change of pace back roll the whole year for Zach Charbonnet. I think there's a lot of positive outcomes that could come from, if Ty Chandler gets a 40% workload, or if there's an injury to Aaron Jones, who's commonly injured, and then you have Brooks returning from the knee injury. I could see this room being very strong or not strong at all. Herbert or Rodgers? I know Rodgers is correlated, so we're leaning into Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I think I'm still inclined to go Rodgers over Herbert here. I mean, this will be the first time I've taken Rodgers over Herbert, but I think that it makes more sense when we have the alpha stack there for Rodgers.
Yeah, 1 out of 12. I mean, you're basically saying that the Chargers, stink this year. So drafting like you're right, I think it's going to be important in this contest.
Josh Downs expected to miss the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said at the start. Yep. Wouldn't be surprised if it was 6.
But yeah, I think like taking Justin Herbert and then taking him with a late Brendan Rice or something, like sure you're technically stacked, but like I prefer to have my quarterbacks with the alpha stack. Like I would much rather have Aaron Rodgers with Garrett Wilson than take Justin
DJ
Herbert
Chark
and hope that DJ Chark or one of these wide receivers that like could be zero. Like I most of the time I want my quarterback to be stacked with their first, second option rather than taking a quarterback late with their like,
for sure.
All right, I guess I'll take the falling value and take him with his 5th receiving options. Like, obviously there is strong correlation there with that option as well, because like that 5th receiving option is only going to hit most likely in games where the quarterback also hits in a big way. But yeah, I don't know. I believe, and I need to refresh myself, but I believe that I have read that you typically stack and you really want your quarterback to be with their alpha pass catchers.
Yeah, you're making the bet on a wide receiver 1, a top 10 wide receiver finish from Garrett Wilson. He's not going to get there with any other QB.
Yeah.
So leaning into that with Rodgers in a 1 out of 12. That's the important thing here. It's a 1 out of 12 advance. And then it's 2 out of 10, 2 out of 9. You're not making money unless you make the finals. So you're relying on that stack all the way through the finals. Because if Garrett Wilson doesn't hit, if someone else is, those other teams have a first round pick on you. So it does make sense to lean Rodgers there. I agree.
Yeah.
Now in a cash game setting where it's like no tournament play, and you're just worried about points, I think Herbert's interesting, but
sure.
Is the payout structure bad? I wouldn't say it's that bad. It's
top heavy. Just a top heavy payout structure.
It's very, very top heavy, which is going to result in higher payouts if you make the finals. But it's going to be punishing when you don't, and it's punishing $7 at a time. If you max $70 without edge, it's about 3% chance you make the finals without any sort of edge.
Yep. If you're a neutral drafter.
Yeah, right.
But when me and Pat draft together, we have a 50% chance of making the finals.
Imagine.
You saw the big brain in the thumbnail. I mean, look at that. Made me feel so much smarter. Seeing my giant brain in your thumbnail.
I was trying to pump you up. I was really trying to pump you up before.
It's like, man, I'm really smart. I didn't realize.
Yeah, like it's showing. Baker goes at 170, so the 3 QB dream sort of fades a little bit. This is where this is where would you add a late Denver plus Bo Nix? This is where I start to get a little more intrigued in some of these late backstacks. If we didn't have two tight ends, would it be Bryce Young and uh, Sanders or whoever it might be?
I think it's been a month since I've drafted Jatavian Sanders. I was super in on him also early on, and I don't feel like I've heard anything good about him in a while. Maybe I missed some coach speak
No,
there, but
he had a couple days back to back practices where he scored touchdowns.
okay, okay.
So they're definitely getting him in the mix. But 130 out, 138 watching, excuse me, 60 on the Twitter. Hop on over to the YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We're on the way to 2K subs. We're at 1879 or
Oh, damn.
121 away from the 24-hour live stream. We're creeping in. So if you guys want to put me to the test, make sure you go and do that. I
Throw Corley onto the stack potentially.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Let's go ADP so you can see. Corley, do you like Tolbert? Or do we have enough in Dallas?
Yeah, Tolbert is a fine pick, I would say. Corley probably my preference here.
Okay. We'll bring in the double stack with the pocket passing QB, lean into some rookie uncertainty. Looking a little better than those early training camp days as well, getting some more positive news.
Yep. Tolbert, I thought I saw some news on Tolbert maybe being banged up or something, but we already have the double stack there for Dallas.
Right.
So we could go that way. I saw Estime was still there. I'm pretty high on
Sam
Estime.
Darnold at 179? Okay. That's what we're doing. Braylon Allen off the board.
Eli Mitchell with the okay, he goes.
We can go Jordan. Now I think we're done at RB. Really do.
Do you really? How many do we have? Do we have five?
When we started super heavy.
All right. See, I'm just not used to these heavy RB builds where you can stop it at 5 and feel comfortable.
I think we bring in a third QB, even if it's a late Bo Nix. Does that mean we go? Where's Dortch? I have Dortch ranked as the next best receiver. That's what's throwing me off. I think Dortch here is interesting too, with two rookies to sort of pad some of this early.
Sure. Yeah, I'd be fine with Dortch. Doesn't give us like another quarterback out, but I'm okay with just the two quarterbacks we have.
Let's bring in Dortch here. I think it's really falling off fast at receiver. We could have gone like Danny Dimes here and then went like Hyatt on the way back rounds, the other combination, but we have 2 picks left. We have a 2572 for the listeners. Clearly we have a lot of listeners because the camera was off for God knows how long.
Right. Not a lot of watchers, just a lot of listeners.
Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers with Derrick Henry, Pacheco, Charbonnet, Ty Chandler, and Chuba Hubbard. We actually get a lot of these guys that I think we're both pretty heavy on.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson, Samuel, Godwin, Worthy, Cooks, Corley, and Dortch. Definitely a mix of ceiling and floor. And then Ferguson, Njoku, definitely a lead at tight end. But it does seem like we're maybe missing out on some points at QB potentially in a 1 out of 12 advance. What are your thoughts here?
See, I'm good with Dak and Rodgers. Just taking the risk on those two. I think both have pretty nice potential for the season. But if you feel a little vulnerable with just those two, if you want to shore it up with a Bo Nix, I'm good with that. Or did Fields go? We could. I mean, you were right. Fields is not screaming up the board anymore. I'd still be willing to do it for that Omega potential. But
yeah, I think just the hysteria came down a little bit. I saw him go in the 130s the other day, like after.
That's pretty nuts,
dude. There's some crazy hysteria going on. But I agree. Depending who's there, it might just not be worth it to go a third QB. So,
yeah, it's all dependent on what else is available there. Which is why I'm like, I'd still be okay with another running back if we think that running back has enough potential to have some spike weeks to make the lineup.
Right. right?
which I don't know.
That's the big thing is like who's going to add points to this team
Right, with
while like
Pacheco and Derrick Henry.
yeah.
No, it's a very fair point.
We don't
Who
have
has
the
the most
highest
likely to break into this team that we've built?
week 17 correlation. It's not overly concerning with the 120 seat final.
You can convince me to take Johnny Wilson. Late Johnny Wilson, throw him onto a DAC stack. Did I say that too soon?
No, I think another receiver is actually getting steamed today too in Philly. Is it
Anus? Is Anus getting steamed?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Is it Ninus? Nias? I don't know what. I don't know how to say it.
Streamers just call him Anus. I don't know how it's actually.
That's
I'm
crazy.
guessing that's not how it's pronounced.
Crazy. Want to see that 24th hour BBM? Imagine on the 24th hour, eyes are glued shut.
Yeah, that would be just. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I wish you the best of luck in that 24-hour live stream.
A lot of coffee. A lot of coffee.
Who is the other? I'm trying to remember.
PPR Tyler's
like
doing
on the
one
tip of my
starting
tongue.
tonight at 6 p.m. I'm joining. No, not tonight. I'm sorry.
Friday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to get back to him on when I might be able to join that.
The anus getting steam is crazy. Oh God.
Said what I said. No regrets.
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. All right.
Bo Nix and Justin Fields went. I see some names.
I definitely see some names.
Paris
There
Campbell.
are-
Paris Campbell, the other Eagles receiver that I was thinking of.
Is he still on the team?
I think so. I thought he was having some good practices
Okay.
not long ago.
He's like a training camp hero. He always gets mentioned in training camp
Yep.
and then falls short.
We don't have any New Orleans pieces, do we? I mean, Jalen Hyatt was still there.
I like that. I also don't
Dimes went.
mind
Okay.
bringing in Derek Carr. It's not a week 17 click, but can it get us there just with, I mean, his bench risk is super low.
True.
Who adds more points to this team? I think we still get, oh God.
All right.
For a second, I thought we timed out. I think we still get Hyatt. This is the risk. Or we can go Malik. We don't have a Miami piece and maybe leveraging some of the, maybe you get a Hill injury, maybe you get a Waddle injury, and then all of a sudden he becomes super relevant.
Yeah, he is one of my favorite late round clicks. I've been buying into Malik Washington a bit. See, you have 12%, so not as much as you. But I have been making that click from time to time.
These guys just disappeared from my queue. I think might just be lagging a little bit. I don't see that our connection's down though. Yeah, the Malik click is, I think, just with how many injuries you get to these receivers, how often they're being targeted.
Right.
If one of them were to go down, Odell isn't going to take 100% of those snaps. You're going to get a lot of Malik Washington mixed in there.
Oh yeah.
And I think that upside is just something that is worth at least looking into a little bit. I've since cooled down. This was probably around 15%. And this is BBM too. So bigger final. How do we leverage that field? I have a lot of Amari Cooper, as you saw. I have a lot of San Fran.
Right.
So also it's a correlated piece. So I find myself leaning towards that.
Coming up next.
Garrett Wilson, Debo, Godwin, Worthy, 4 receivers by Worthy. Cooks is wide receiver 5, Corley and Dorsch. And again, we're leaning into Cooks being a good receiver with the Dak pairing. He can do it. He's gonna be touchdown dependent this year, but it's not a bad thing.
I mean, Hyatt 18th round feels pretty good. How much Johnny Wilson do you have? I'm just curious.
I started to mix him in. I think I have 2%.
Okay.
It's at 1%. I have 2 shares.
All right. I'd be fine with just going Hyatt if you want. If you want that week 17, Johnny Wilson would work.
If it's 2 out of 12, I'm probably going Johnny Wilson here. Being 1 out of 12, maybe a little more punishing. Um, it definitely makes me think differently of how we can min max points. Like on, let's say on, it's not ideal to have two with the same bye week, but at least we have Dak for that week anyways.
Right.
But on bye week 7, if you have Rodgers and it's a Brees Hall week and Rodgers gets like 7.2 points, you could still get 16 from Carr. Carr's definitely
Sure.
not the ceiling. He's not the ceiling guy. But he's going to be out there. I think his bench risk is extremely low. So
Benny says 17.2% Washington. Damn, that's I don't hate it. I think he's a very, very solid last round pick.
he is. He didn't get the capital, which is a little worrisome. But and then they
But Mike
bring in
McDaniel likes him quite a bit, it sounds like.
yeah. He's like a Dollar Tree Tyler Lockett, in my opinion. Like he's small and he can win downfield, oddly enough. It's going to be interesting. I don't want to be underweight on him. That's for sure. And he goes undrafted a lot of the time. So actually this 12% will probably play a lot more like 18, 19%.
Okay. It is interesting that Mike McDaniel just keeps on taking the same like archetype of like small, fast guys. Like, just like, all right, we'll just have replacements for all these guys. If they go down, we got another guy we can throw in there.
Right. I think they were very happy too. If I remember the coach speak on Malik Washington, it
Yeah.
was I wanted this guy like 2 rounds ago, and he was banging the table for Malik.
Yep.
And it was like a miracle that they were there, that he was there at round 6. He must have had him graded at a much higher price because of their offense. These guys, they do grade players differently just based on what kind of scheme they're running.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the Malik click a lot, and it's crazy that he goes undrafted a lot of the time.
Yeah. Just a little bonus that he's not always drafted in every draft.
The Rashawn Johnson. I still like the RJ click today.
Why wouldn't we? What has happened with Roshan? I feel like he's solid.
He just going undrafted for Roshan's just so interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, he's a very, very solid late round pick.
Alex McDaniels, Gino, and Bo Nix, Kamara, Jones, White, Spears, Herbert. That seems good. This seems strong. Jefferson, Adams, Metcalf, Higgins, Terry McLaurin, Myers. It's a lot of early capital, and then he just correlates on the back end, gets the bring back. So ooh, that's tough.
Frying with an
Pat
Ertz at
Fry
tight
and
end.
Ertz is tough.
That is a tough tight end room.
Taking a third tight end over Troy Franklin with this click, probably.
Me too.
That's a lot of early investment at receiver.
Already has Mims for the Knicks click. I mean,
Yeah.
I like double tapping, double stacking with Knicks, but I feel like they're probably a third tight end makes more sense.
Jeremy with us in a live stream. Lamar and Staffy, nice little fun pairing. Floor and ceiling. Kyron, Swift, Ford, Ray Davis, Bucky Irving, and Tracy. The capital seems right.
Yep. Looks
Hero
good.
RB build.
Got the double stack with Cup and Kyron.
Yeah, double stack with Lamar as well, with Walker and Andrews.
Very nice.
Five receivers by Palmer, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is just a well-balanced team. Love to see it. Love to see it. One of the stronger badgeless.
I don't really love to see it when only 1 out of 12 advance, if I'm being honest.
And Ches is in here with us with Kyler and Justin Herbert at 168.
Ooh,
crazy. That's
damn.
crazy.
Is that correlated? Does he have one of the pieces to
he
pair?
He grabs DJ Chark late.
Okay.
He's like, let's play ball. It's definitely a good it's a good
tough to
advance
resist
rate
at
click.
168. Yeah.
Mixon, Mostert, Javante, Benson, Lloyd, and Algier. I love the RB room.
Yeah. Very strong.
Lamb, Smith, Neighbors, Hollywood, Wicks, McMillan, DJ Chark, and Yoshi Vas. I mean, 8 receivers. I would say you would need them all. because of Hollywood being a spike week guy. Wicks is going to have his weeks, and then I'll have his weeks where he might only play 20% of snaps. I like it.
Ooh,
With
double week
McBride
11 tight end. Team is dead. Zero points in week 11 from the tight end spot. Can't overcome that.
Yeah, you just lost 7 points, bro. You just lost
Right.
7 points. Nah, I'm fine with the double bye week on 11. He does
Tight
get a
end.
little bit of tight end, excuse me. He does get the little fall on Cade, which I have no Cade. It's crazy.
I don't have a ton either. Yeah.
Maybe I'll get my share. 192, like I'm on board. I'm just clicking other people in this range, I guess. Like McMillan, I guess, with 23%. Nice draft from Ches. Well-balanced team. Good advance
Did you
rate
do
team.
the 3-hole already?
Yeah.
J. Lewis?
We hit Jeremy. We hit Alex. Andrew in the live stream, 2673. Caleb Williams and Will Levis. And he gets sniped on his double Houston stack. Bijan Etienne, Chase Brown, Corum Wright, and Estime. I like this RB room a lot. Maybe this is a luxury pick because I'm typically stopping with 5 with this start here.
Yep.
Nico Diggs, Keenan Allen, Rome, DeAndre Hopkins, Leggett, and Bateman. Gets sniped on this. He says that's fine. We'll double stack Chicago. He nicely completes that stack. He has the DeAndre Hopkins stack. Bring back ETN in week 17. Bring back Evan Ingram. Same game. Is this enough for you at receiver? Or is this going to lean like, is Hopkins going to be healthy to start? Can Xavier Leggett
Hopkins
be
and
a
Leggett
breakout?
being hurt and Keenan Allen being somebody I'm concerned about the health. A little bit of a, yeah, it's probably fine. It's borderline too thin, I think, at wide receiver.
If DeAndre Hopkins is starting the year, you're probably
Which
pretty
is
happy
probably,
with him
yeah.
at 89.
Right. No, it's probably good enough.
I'm not a Bateman truther. I feel like
I'm a Bateman
Okay.
truther, so I like that pick.
I feel like he's so polarizing this year, whether you're like all the way in or all the way out.
Yep.
Like those
Bateman
are the exposures
and
I
Demarcus
see.
Robinson. I think those are the two, and I'm in on both Bateman and Demarcus Robinson.
And then you get the early Puka injury, and it's like, oh wow, like this is how Robinson really wins. Ingram likely and Juwan Johnson's really sick. That's really sick. Good team.
Pretty strong.
Good team. Yeah. Obviously, Stroud going at pick like 55 or whatever. One pick brutal. Before him's tragic. It's tragic. You can't do anything about it. And then our team with Dak, Rodgers, and Derek Carr, Henry, Pacheco, Charbonnet, Ty Chandler, and Hubbard, Garrett Wilson, Debo, Godwin, Worthy, Brandon Cooks, Corley, Dortch, and Hyatt with Ferguson and Njoku. When we kind of fell for the Njoku trap, I think, but I don't mind pushing teams. We could have gone Spears there. I think we end up making this look pretty good. We don't get any week 17 goodies, but I think we put forth a good advance rate team for the most part.
Yeah, no, I think we did too. I think we're obviously strong at tight end. I think that 3 quarterback build is a very strong trio of quarterbacks. Bully running back. I feel good. I think every position looks good enough to me.
Yeah,
now we just need things to fall right. Yeah,
that was a fun one. And Corley, we'll see what his role is going to be towards the mid end of the season. That's where you could be getting your points from him if he has to win that rollover, or if the lack of experience is a thing early. What's your thoughts on Corley? Are you taking him correlated, uncorrelated?
Mostly just correlated. Like if he falls to the 18th round, I'll take Corley or 17th round. I think he's a fine click either way. But for the most part, I'm just taking him correlated. Yeah. I'm trying to avoid those zeros. I think that he is one of the riskier picks to potentially be a big zero all year. So I like him correlated. Yeah. I don't love him when I'm not correlated there.
And yeah, I agree there. And Andrew says if you draft like you're right, no one gets hurt. It's 100% true. So. Yeah, it's the ultimate contest for drafting like you're right, 1 out of 12. Really lean into your early investment. I think that's exactly what he did. So, guys, if you enjoyed today's live stream, first off, thanks for joining us. This was a double draft. Appreciate you guys coming out. Drop the like on the way out. Hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 2K. Give Neil a follow on Twitter as well as his YouTube machine. Link is in the description below. Check out Bestball Overlay. Fantasydogpound.com, promo code Pounders. If you guys enjoyed the little overlay on screen, also the website updates are absolutely insane from Josh. So make sure you check that out. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Neil, do you have anything pressing that we need to cover for promos?
I'm debating actually doing a stream this afternoon, just 2 drafts to get to my 100th. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to go check out whether Pete has done his 100th, and if he has not, I might do it just for the bit to try to beat him to 100. But if he already did his, then I'll probably push it and not do it. Either way, tonight though, I am doing the podcast Playing for Keeps. Mike Leone is coming on, which is very excited. First time I've done a stream with Leone. Really looking forward to picking his brain tonight.
That's awesome. I will definitely be watching that. So, guys, make sure you don't miss that one because that one's going to be epic. We're neck and neck with BBMs. That was my 99th.
Right. We are right on pace to finish very close together.
So, appreciate you guys coming out. We'll catch you on the next one. Pounders.